record. Go live there in a second once we have GarageBand. Guys, if you're watching us on YouTube, we're setting up everything else. So you're going to give us a second here. Sorry for the delay. And we're not editing anything on YouTube right now. We're just
throwing it against the wall and seeing what sticks. And see all the stuff that's not pretty.
You need to be on the mic, by the way, so we can hear you. Yeah, we're just winging it. The YouTube is more just us experimenting. We're not, this isn't us saying this is the final form or look or anything that we want to have. It's right now, we're just putting on YouTube because we want to at least start getting it there. And then we will slowly start adding in, like we actually have set up an area to record in our salon. And we will have that area eventually set up, but just not yet. So let's get on the mic. All right, I'm working there. And testing. You can talk too, Tussanee. Actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to delete that. Let's do this. Voice narration. Voice narration. And hit record. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right, go ahead.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Okay, good. All right, so we're recording there, and let me get my keynote. Unfortunately, I'm going to be referring to slides, guys, on if you watch us on YouTube, and we don't have the slides available for you there yet. So, like I said, YouTube is really us experimenting. We'll talk the numbers through, but you'll at least have to wait to see what we do. So here, let's go live.
It's available on Instagram Live.
Yeah, it'll be available for 24 hours on Instagram Live, and we're live. Here we are, as always, with the amazing and beautiful Tussanee, along with the amazing and beautiful Pug.
The little pig.
Piglet Pig, hanging out with us once again. Oh my gosh.
Center of attention lashes. Is it Lash Lounge Gemia?
Lash Lounge Mia.
It took me a little while to get that. Yeah. Welcome, guys.
So thanks for coming.
Oh, it's Spa Babe. Hi, Spa Babe.
Thanks for hanging out with us on a Friday night.
Sporty Babe. Hey, guys.
I know some of you guys might be.
It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, all over the country.
Interview.
Anyone overseas, by the way? Anyone here maybe not in
America?
The United States, but overseas? Because I'd be interested to see if we have any people up like in the middle of the night.
Hey. Flirt lash bars, love it.
So we're going to be talking about really, should you be discounting, or really what my argument is going to be, you should be raising your prices right now because things are about to get back to normal. And it's not really normal. I say back to working, right? Yeah, back to working, back to normal, far from normal, but at least we're working. Working is better than not working. So
yes, it is.
We want to really go over some stuff to help you guys make better decisions and how to raise your prices if you decide to go there. So Kansas City, Missouri, here, aka the Twilight Zone. I think the whole country is a Twilight Zone right now. Yeah. I feel like we've all entered the wonderful Twilight Zone. So we are currently broadcasting also on YouTube as well as here. And thanks for all of you who came earlier today to get the double dose of us here with Kim and then later with us. I will say this is probably the less fun talk, but that's not because we're just not here to entertain. We're actually here to give you information you need to help your business. And we know that this actually hit a nerve today. Hard to understand you with all the headphones. Yeah, I know that right now we are recording both our podcasts at the same time and going to YouTube, and we're going to Instagram. And basically it's a little bit less, the audio is not as good. Like when we're just recording off the phone, it's a little bit more clean.
Oh,
yeah. So it's a little bit more buzz. I can try to reduce it a little bit.
We sound weird.
I just reduced it a tiny bit. Let me know if the buzz is a little better or maybe got worse. And sorry about the way it works. We won't be able to hear. You can hear us here. And better. Okay, good. All right. So made a little bit tweak.
Is it
it's a little fine, just a tinny. Yeah, teeny.
Is that better? It's better?
Yeah. Okay. So, you know what we could do? I'm actually willing to give this a try. We could actually record the audio here and do the same thing with the headphones and not have you come through here. So I'm going to do something really risky. I'm going to improvise and take the audio out. Okay. And now the audio's out.
How's that?
And let us know how that works. If that sounds better.
Is it better without it?
Yes, better. And I think we're still recording on our Instagram, on our podcast. Or let me see here. Yeah, we're still recording there. And hopefully it's still on YouTube. So we'll just go with that. Hopefully it's a little better audio. Sounds a little better. Sounds like a busted speaker sound. Yeah.
Can you fix that?
Now, what I'm going to do is this. We're going to cancel this out with that's better. I'm just going to go with that's better. As long as you can understand me, give me some hearts or thumbs up if you can understand me. If you can't, because obviously there's a lot of issues, and if you can't understand me, it's like the most important thing. This is not a silent film, right? Okay, cool. All right, let's get with it. So first, I want to acknowledge, actually today, we had a lot of people yesterday come on and post and just share our post yesterday with by far the most we've ever seen any post we did.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah.
Right?
So of course, as a Instagram person trying to create a business and try to have influence, it's great to see when you guys all get excited and you're all like, yes, this is what I need to hear. This is what I need to know about. So yes, we're going to talk about not just discounting, because that's what it started with. Last week, someone said, hey, can you tell us how to discount our prices? And then I started thinking about it, and then I actually saw a talk from a company called Strategies. And at that point, I was like, no, discounting is like the worst thing we can be doing right now. I know we're tempted because of fear to be making some choices maybe that we wouldn't normally make. And I know that we're in a place where we don't have a roadmap, right? We don't know where we're going. We've never been here. This is all unprecedented. And so it's a little scary. And I just want to first say before we get into all this, it's okay to be scared. It's okay to be like, well, this is unknown. What if I do this? What if I do that? I could lose my business. I could lose my employees. I could lose my clients. I get it. There's lots of things to be scared of. And that is okay. I want to just give you guys a big, pat on the back saying it's okay to be scared. Now, the one that's not okay to do is make decisions based upon that fear. Yeah, you got to let that fear, acknowledge it, embrace the fear, give it a big hug, and realize this is a feeling, it's an emotion. It will pass. And as you get more information, like hopefully today, you're going to feel more confident to make better decisions for your business. And that's why we're here. It's really important for you to just equip yourself with information right now and good information about business so you can make better decisions. But that all said, I want to also say there's no guarantees right now because we don't know stuff, right? Because we don't have all the in-game information. Things will change, things will alter, and things might get worse, things might get better. We don't know. By the way, that's what happens when you decide to be an entrepreneur. You sign up for a less stable life, a less secure life, a less guarantee. When you want more guarantees, you go get a job at a company where you know they're going to pay you a paycheck and you can work for them and all that. It's just, this is the life of an entrepreneur. So we signed up for this guy. This is the life that we wanted. Maybe we didn't want this consequences right now with the economy, but this is the life that we want. We want to be our own boss. We want to make our own choices. We want to do our own thing. So it's okay. Last by Ash in Fargo says 63 of my 75 clients rebooked, raised prices, and they open Monday.
Oh, congratulations, Ash.
That's awesome.
That's
by the way, we should give hearts
names?
and everyone go crazy. I mean, that's awesome. And by the way,
are looking through the glass saying, oh,
yeah,
it was us.
That's the future right there for you guys.
Good
Raise
job,
their prices, and most of our clients rebooked. And by the way, when you lose some clients, but you raise your prices, you do what I hear Tara Walsh says all the time. You work smarter, not harder. You're making more money while working less, or maybe making the same amount. Or if you make a tiny bit less, hey, is that so bad? I mean, gosh, you work less, maybe be home for your kids more. And the better news is, by the way, you can market yourself, get some new clients in who never knew about your lower price and jump on board. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself, but let's get into things. I'm going to try something new here, guys. We did this thing where I got to give props to where props is due. We're going to be showing slides. Look at this. Woohoo, slides. What? Yeah, this is, I want to give a shout out to Zarina from Radiance/Art, as well as Anna, who they both have started a Instagram page or training called Lash Bootcamp Web. And it's a free site as far as I checked. And they're offering trainings and all that. And we're going to be training on there in a month or so. And so we're excited to be able to offer this. They basically showed me this. Hey, this is how you can do slides.
Really neat,
the only problem is my slides are all in the wrong order. So it's like I'm so used to Keynote and it all coming out right, and it's not now. So you just got to bear with me.
That's all right. We'll grin and bear it, and we'll get through it.
The
information is good.
Yes, it is.
All right, ready? Go.
All right, next. I want to first give a little promotion or a little shout out to a company called Strategy is a coaching company that we had hired for 7 years and worked with them. And some people who've reached out to me have hired them recently too, or have in the past worked with them. And I've yet to hear a bad word about them. They are an amazing company. They've been doing this for 26 years, not like just new kids on the block. They've been doing this for a long time. So I promise you, the information they give is solid. They give really great information on how to run a salon. Now, they're really geared for the salon and spa, not for...
Or just a little pause here because of poor connection.
This is our play-by-play poor connection. Sorry, we lose connection once in a while. So basically... what was I going to say about them?
They're not, they're old timers in a sense of the beauty industry.
Yeah,
they've been around for a while.
And they're for the bigger companies. They're for people who have 3, 4, 20, 50, 80 staff, right? Most people in the Lash world work for themselves.
Because they're a little bit more expensive. But let me tell you, the tools that we learned from strategies were so amazing. They kept us afloat. They kept the salon moving forward in a strong way. I can't recommend it enough. I mean, the downside to it is that it does require a lot of work. It's not just like you pay the money for coaching and all of a sudden it's done for you. If you're serious about it, you're the one that has to change. And so that was a bit of an adjustment for us. We got the information and we had to take a long, hard look at ourselves and we had to make some hard changes.
You had to be humble and be willing to change and do things differently. You can't just say, do it for you. They're not their coaches. They're not people that do the work for you. You don't hire them as an accountant or an operations manager. They basically come on and say, hey, have you thought of this? Have you thought of that? And then you go, no, maybe I should try it. And you have to do it yourself. So it can be, it is daunting, but all that said, I'm going to take their stuff that they've taught us over the years, and I'm going to boil it down and try to give it to you as a single practitioner. Those of you, by the way, who have a team, who have, salon members or like 3, 4, 5, 8 stylists working for you, I really want to encourage you to go to the link in the bio. I created it. There's a video you should watch. And then afterwards, there's a link to a page where you can sign up and you can get some of their services for free. Like you don't even have to pay for them. They're going to give you a 13-week a spreadsheet that allows you to plan out your budget for 13 weeks. And then they'll also give you a link to where you can figure out your cost per hour. And it actually will be going through what we're doing, but it's all a lot more automated for you. So even as a single practitioner, you can go do this and it's free. They're giving it to you free. You don't have to pay for it. Just watch the video and then go online, sign up, and you get all this stuff. And you're signing up to get emails from them, but that's okay because I guarantee you the information they give you is awesome. It's worth it. And then if you're a bigger salon, you can afford it, you can sign up, but their costs are $800 plus for their monthly coaching. It's hands-on, it's great, but at the same time, it's not cheap. So this is kind of like the low budget version we're trying to give you guys to help you out, to point you in the direction, and also to help you as a single practitioner. So let's get into a couple things here. By the way, there are going to be some formulas on here. If you want to, you can screenshot them or screenshot them with your phone. That way you can go back and use them again. So, or like I said, if you go to strategies, you'll get all this stuff. But if you can't, if you're a single practitioner, and you just there's just like a few. It's not like there's 80 here. A little mathy. It's going to take a little time to get it in, but that's why you take the picture, take the screenshot, and then you can look at it, and then you can calculate because you're not going to know all your numbers right now. When we did this talk at our LashCon, we asked everyone, have your numbers ahead of time. Most people didn't. That's okay. You can just go home and do this at home afterwards. So that all said, and by the way, this will be on our podcast as well as on YouTube, just without the slides. All right. So first, let's talk about, let me get to my next slide here. And that's why I need my keynote here so I know which one to go to. Okay, costs are about to just get a little bit more crazy. We have to buy PPE stuff. What's that? What's that called? Do you know what PPE is? Personal
protective equipment.
Yes, personal protection equipment. Like that guy in that suit you see. Well, I don't think anyone's going to get in that suit. But anyhow, but we're going to have to buy supplies. We're going to have to buy equipment. We're going to have to do things like maybe you took a loan to get through this time, especially if you have a staff. Maybe not the PPP because the PPP is going to be forgivable, most likely. But let's say you took just a small loan from your local bank or something like that, and that's helped you get through this time. Well, that's going to be increased cost because guess what? You're going to have to pay it back. You have to have new things like shields for the front desk possibly, or maybe you're going to put stickers on the floor, or maybe you have to buy more laundry sheets. You guys are going to have a lot more stuff. Maybe you're going to have less staff because you can't, that you're really going to be maybe a little slower. Maybe you have to spread out your hours between your staff. So not everyone's going to be coming in every hour. Now
they don't overlap.
Yeah, you got to do every hour and a half. So you have people spreading out over time. So if that happens, it's going to be, you're going to need a little bit more space, so to speak. And all that means is less hours to sell and more cost, right? So when things cost more and you have less revenue, that means your costs are all out of whack, and it's going to get kind of expensive, and it can be kind of difficult for you to pay the bills all of a sudden. Even though you're like, well, I'm still working. Yeah, you are, but your costs went up and the amount of hours you can sell went down, and that's a dangerous combination. So what we want to do real quickly is we want to figure out what you're currently charging. All right, and let's determine, this is really a quick thing that you can do. And I'm thinking maybe Tuss, if you can see.
Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah.
That's not it.
It's right here.
Let's determine your charge per hour, okay? So this is one of the first things you can take a screenshot. It's really basic, easily. You're going to take, really easily, it's easy to do. You're going to take the price of your current service. Let's say you're charging $100. Let's see, this thing just goes out every 10 minutes. It's like on clockwork now. All right, sorry, we lost you for a second. So you're going to take your service. Let's say you charge $100, all right? And you have a 60-minute service, 1 hour. So you take 60, multiply it by the service, $100, and that's, what is that? It's going to be $600. That is, now we're going to take that $600 and divide it by the time of your service. In this case, it's easy, right? Because we just had 60 minutes. It's a 1 hour service, so it's 60 minutes, and that's going to give you your cost per hour, which is $60. You're charging $60 an hour. Now, what you're going to find out is that you do all your services this way, and you're going to find out probably pretty quickly that a lot of your services are being charged at different hourly rates. You're going to go, well, I charge, $200 for a full set, and that only takes me, 2 hours, let's say, full set, $200. And then I do a fill, which is 45 minutes for $50. Let's just random numbers. So all of a sudden you're like, okay, is that the same? And when you multiply it by 60 and then you divide by the hour, the time that the service takes, that's going to tell you what it is. When we did this at LashCon, we had people all over the place. They go, well, my fills are $65 and my new sets are $100. Or worse, my new sets are $40 and my fills are $60. Or my facials, I found out my facials, I do in case you do facials too, are $100 an hour, but my lashes are 60. And what you do is you begin to find out that you have a very inconsistent pricing. And what we want to do is we're going to tell you how to get your pricing right, because once you can price your services more consistently, no matter what time you're doing it, you have the same price. Your clients, it's going to be a little more trust, because your clients understand this. If it's like, hey, why did that half-hour service cost me $50, but the 1 hour service cost me $200? That doesn't make sense. You charge me
figure it out
a lot. They can do the simple math their own. So one of the things that would really be nice here is to have one single price. So you know that whatever service you have for an hour, it's $60. That means for every 2 hours, it's $120. If you do a 3 hour service, it's $180. You just understand that that's how you calculate. And like, let's say you cut an hour and a half. Well, if it's normally $60 for an hour, then an hour and a half would be 90, because you just take half of that, and you can figure this math out. So this is not crazy, math, but all the idea is make your pricing consistent for 15 minutes to a half hour to an hour to an hour and a half. It's all the same. And by the way, it makes it easier when a client says, hey, I want 15 more minutes. You're like, well, I charge 60 an hour. So 15 minutes would be $15. So sure. Yeah. Do you want to pay $15 for the extra 15? Like, sure. All right, great. Then you do the extra 15 versus what a lot of people sometimes are tempted to do is go, okay, I'll just give you 15 minutes for free.
I just give you extra.
Yeah. And what does that do? That just lower your per hour. You now are losing money.
And then sometimes people are like, it doesn't matter so much if I'm late, because she always makes it up on the backside.
Exactly.
What we encourage, what we keep doing is what encourages our clients. So
yeah, exactly. And so that's not the way to go. So now you know what your current pricing is. So we want to go next, and we want to look into productivity. It's going to be this one. Let's click. Where is the color? Is that? All right, there we go. Sorry, the slides are all messed up, so it's taking me a second to find out. We're working with what we got. So let's calculate your productivity rate. What's productivity? This is another important statistic that you need to follow if you're a salon owner, especially with staff. And it'd be good for you as a single practitioner. It's not as urgent, because you kind of know how busy you are. It's like if you're going every day and you're seeing 4 clients a day and you're working 8 hours, yeah, you're pretty busy. But if you're going in one every day and you see one client, then you're not so busy. But once you start getting staff, to calculate your cost per hour, it's really important to understand your productivity. So in this case, let's go ahead and do it as if you have staff. You're just right now going to calculate for yourself. You're going to take the total hours sold, and you're going to divide by the total hours available. So
wait a minute.
What does that mean?
Let's talk about what are hours sold. What does that mean?
So first you want to do is you go every month. You're going to look at your month, and you're going to go, you can start with your week, but really want to take a whole month. And you want to say, how many hours do I work where I can actually charge people services? This does not include Instagram posting, doesn't include going to the bank, doesn't include...
It doesn't include like the time that the person goes to the ladies' room.
Breaks or anything. You just want to say, when I'm working for that 1 hour doing that fill, that's when I'm being paid, okay? That is an hour that you can sell. Then you want to figure out how many hours you do sell on average. So let's just say every month, to keep numbers easy, you're working 100 hours a month, all right? And then you go back, and best way to do this is go back over 3 months, because obviously not every month is the same length. So you want to get an average. So if you go over 3 months and you find out that 1 month you worked 110, 1 month you worked 90, and 1 month you worked 100, well, you would take those three, add them up, it's 300, divide it by 3 because you did 3 months, and you would get 100 hours. So you say, okay, I'm averaging 100 hours a month. Okay, that's what I can sell. That's not what I did sell.
That's what's available. A little pause here due to...
Yeah, and that's what you can sell, okay? So then you go back and you want to calculate how many hours did you actually sell. Just go through the books, and you can, next thing you have, hopefully appointment books, and you can see, oh, there's an hour appointment, 2 hour appointment, 3 hour appointments, and you just keep adding up all those hours, okay? And yes, it's going to take a little time. You're going to have to do it for the whole month. There's ways of doing it, automate it, but right now I don't know what tools you have, so I'm not going to try to guess. I'm just going to do the hard old school way. Look at the screen. If you work 6 hours on clients, that's a 6 hour day. Next day, 8 hours. Next day, 3 hours, whatever. Add it all up for the whole month, okay? And then to really get a good average, if you want to do it, go back 3 months and add up 3 months of hours. Mm-hmm. Then divide it again by 3 if you do all 3 months, right? So you add up 3 months, and now all of a sudden, now let's say you find out you average work 80 hours of every 100 hours that you do. So that would be, what would that productivity be? You take 12 hours, as I show on the screen, divide by the total hours available. So 80 divided by 100 would give you 80%.
80% productive. So for 80% of the time, I'm being paid.
Yeah, 80% of the time you're being paid. That is what your productivity rate is. That's an important number, which we'll come back to and explain what it is. Next, we're going to do is we want to calculate. Now we're going to go into calculating your actual costs, okay? Productivity, kind of put that back in your mind. Remember that. That's going to come back and help us predict things or know what your costs are. Calculate your service payroll taxes, professional use supplies, and credit card fees. This is what we call is your cost of service. You know, when you're doing actual service on people, these are the actual hard costs that it takes to do that service. So you take a screenshot of this as things that you need to do. And by the way, I'm going to give you an even simpler way of doing this in a second. I'm going to give you the more complex way, and then we'll go back and we'll do the simple way. Then after you figure out what it costs to do it, and this is service payroll. So this is what you pay your people, your payroll taxes. This is the taxes of your employer, and you're doing W-2s, and you're paying your employees. You're paying taxes on their behalf. If you're doing 1099, shame on you. We'll talk about it another time. You need to get right because technically, guys, you're not in compliance with the IRS. They will not be in love with you if you get audited. So you need to do W-2, but we won't go into that in any great detail.
That's for another day.
Another day. So calculate your service payroll. You have your payroll taxes. Then you also have your professional use supplies, which means, you know, the back bar, the stuff you do. You glue, your lashes.
PPE.
No, not your PPE. No, that's not including that.
Okay.
That's all your professional use supplies. So everything you're using while doing the appointment stuff. Now, some of it's there. You're right. Your mask, whatever. But basically your glue, your lashes, your solvents, whatever you have in there that while you're doing the saline, so forth. Then your credit card fees too, because obviously you have to pay fees on that, anywhere from 3%, sometimes higher. And so you're paying credit card fees. So add that all up. Look at that for 1 month and add that up. And if you're a single practitioner, it'd just be what you're paying yourself, your taxes that you pay. Hopefully you're tracking and paying taxes, your back bar fees, as well as your credit card fees. Then you want to calculate your general, what they call G&E, which is your general and administrative expenses. This is obviously, if you have a team, there's a lot more. This is where you would be paying, well, the owner's pay would come out of this usually. Also, if you have a front desk or cleaning crew that comes in, that's where that would be. Insurance, rent, all the other things that it takes. Office supplies, utilities, so forth. That's going to be everything else. And that's going to be your what they call G and E. So you add those all up. And then I'm going to show you a little sheet here that we have. Again, you want to screenshot this because it's so tiny on the screen. I can't even see it. So it's like screenshot it and then you can zoom in. But the basic idea on this little sheet that I showed you here, and this is the type of tools you'll get from Strategies if you were to go sign up for them. And this is kind of the tool they'll give you, a tool like this right now that you'll get to help you figure out your costs. So if you like this and it seems like it'd be helpful, you definitely want to go to the link in our bio and go Strategies, sign up, and you'll get this information. But basically on this little sheet that I have here, it has a few things. There's a service payroll. It has a place for your payroll taxes, your back bar, credit card fees, as well as your G&E. And you're going to add those all up. In this case, this person's total cost, this is a salon, I just made up the numbers, it's $47,800 a month, okay? Then what you do after that is you multiply that by, you're going to see in a second, by the productivity rate. Because obviously, you're not 100% productive. You're not billing for every hour right now that you're open. You're just doing for some. But let me go back real quick. I want to show you guys a quicker way of doing this, especially if you're a single practitioner. You want to look up all your costs for the last 3 months, add them up, and divide them by 3. And this, let's just say you don't have everything broken down by line item. You're like, I don't know all my costs. Just go to your checking account. Hopefully you're doing everything through your bank. You don't have lots of charges on credit cards. But if you have a credit card, you need to include those costs too. And add them all up. Just what are you paying out every month? What are your expenses? Do it for 3 months so you get a big picture and then divide that by 3. And then that is your average of cost it takes to run your business every month. Let's say it's $5,000. You find out, you know what, all my costs, and this includes paying you, do not waive you. You don't get paid after everything else. You need to include your salary, whatever it is, even if it's small. Let's say you're only making $2,000 or $3,000 a month right now. That's okay. That's your cost right now. That's what you got. You add it up and you divide by 3, and that gives you your average cost per month for your business, okay? So that is that. Let's move on the next slide. So, and Tessa's going to, no, not that direction. You're going to find.
Go find it.
There.
I found it.
There it is.
There it is.
Okay, now we're going to figure out how much your hour service is, what you actually cost. That means when you're sitting in the chair doing a client, their lashes,
there's a cost involved with that.
There is a little meter, like a taxi driver running at this point, just going off. Hey, I'm doing lashes, so I'm getting paid right now. This is what actually is costing you per hour. And it's not too hard. I think you guys just screenshot this and you'll see, get it. You want to calculate by doing this. Take your total cost, all your expenses, and divide it by the total number of hours of revenue sold, not your total hours available. Remember, we made a distinction there. You can have your total hours available, like we said, it was 100 hours, let's say, but you only sold 80, okay? So you want to take your total hours, your total expenses, and divide by the total hours that you actually sold. So in this case, from this sheet that I showed you from Strategies, it was 47,860. I divided by 688 hours, and I came up with a $69.56 is what I'm actually charging per hour to do this service. That's what I need. That's what my cost, not what I'm charging. I'm sorry, that's different. That's what it's actually cost me. As the meter's running, that's what it cost me. That's why we got the productivity rate, because if I don't get the productivity rate, don't understand that I need that percentage, you're just going to take your total hours available and divide it. And you're going to come with a much lower number, and that's not a true cost. You really want to make sure that you understand what your true cost. You only want to figure out, you're only being paid for hours you're working. You're not being paid for the 20 hours a week that you're sitting around waiting for the phones to ring, okay? You only want to calculate how much you're being paid for the hours you're working. So if you follow all those formulas I gave you and you get to this point, you know exactly what you're charging. You're going to take the total cost of what you did for the month, like we said, average out over 3 months, and then you're going to divide by the total hours that you averagely sold every month, and that's going to be what you are currently making per hour. Now, the important thing here is you've already calculated earlier, right? We all sat down and we calculated what we are charging currently per hour. Hopefully, what you're charging per hour is higher than this number. If you come in now and you're like, wow, I'm only charging $65 an hour, and I found out, my rates say I'm charging $65 an hour, but right now I find out it's actually costing me $69 an hour.
That means I'm losing money.
That means you're losing money.
You're like, that's why I'm running on a mouse wheel.
And that's why you're always borrowing money, or why you're running things on credit cards, or why you're always finding ways to kind of cut corners and all sorts of stuff, maybe delaying bills.
See, before he came along, I used to look at my bank account and be like, oh, I have money. And then realizing, oh my gosh, where did all the money go? It doesn't matter how much money you take in. It's like, all the bills and stuff. I'm not the math person. So when he came along, it really made a huge difference.
Well, real when strategies came along.
Yeah.
I like doing math. I like doing stuff. I got some serious glare going on my forehead. It's like a nice little hot spot for my head. That all said, basically, I came in, we learned from the strategies, hired them. They helped us figure out how to get this right and get our pricing correct. And it's very important. This is the like nuts and bolts that isn't always a lot of fun, but this is how you make money. Because if you don't have this right, it doesn't matter how many hours you work, you're always losing, in this case, $4 an hour. Every time you step in your bed and have a client, you're losing $4 an hour, which is, not a lot of money for 1 hour, but you add up over a month and over years, that's how you go out of business. So you don't want to do that. So let's calculate the price to make a profit. I'm going to show this. You want to screenshot this, and then I'm going to show you an example, because this, I know for some people, it gets kind of confusing.
This is like, I look at this and I'm like, oh, is this so boring? It's like, wah, 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 wah. So
yeah.
try to pay attention, because it really can make the difference for success for you.
It really is. This is the important stuff. This is where you can begin to get yourself to be a real business owner, and where you can then hire people eventually and have control over your budget, because you know what your cost per hour are. Otherwise, you're just guessing. If you're just looking at other people and going, well, the guy all down the street's charging $70, so I'm charging $70. Well, maybe her rent's less. Maybe she's not paying insurance. Maybe she's got less expenses, so she can get away with that. Meanwhile, you're bleeding left and right going, I can't figure out how to make ends meet. So anyhow, let's get into this. Now, what you want to do is you want to choose your profit margin. Strategy says usually about 15%, but let's just say, you want 10% because you're a little insecure about charging too much. And let's say that you're below, like you're going, wow, it's $65 and I'm at 69, so I need to make more money. Yes, so you need to increase your profit margins. But let's just say, and by the way, if that just happens, you just straight out have to raise your prices. I should cover this real quick. If your costs are $69 and you're only charging 65, you found out earlier today that you're only charging 65, well, then you're $4 underwater, and you just straight off the bat have to raise your prices $4 an hour. You just have to say, you know what? I was 65 an hour, but starting tomorrow, I'm 70 an hour, because I at least have to break even. But preferably what you want to do is make a profit. That's why we're in business. Profit is not evil. I know some people think it is. It's not. If you don't profit, you don't exist. So what you have to do is determine your profit. So you're 10%, 50%, 20%, any number works here. In this case, what you would do is you're going to choose the desired profit margin. Let's say 10%. Subtract 10% from 100%, which gives you 90%. And now you're going to divide that total cost for 1 hour of service by that number. What does that mean? You're like, I just heard that, and I'm totally confused what that means. All right, look at here. The formula would be the cost of 1 hour service. The cost. Oh, I said, it says the cost. It's the cost of 1 hour service. Wow, I never caught that one. Thank you. I always have spelling mistakes in my stuff. The formula would be the cost of 1 hour service. So let's say it's $65. You divide by 90%, and that's going to give you the number of what you need to sell for a 10% profit. Okay. And I know you're still going, well, that doesn't make sense. Let me give you an actual example to look at. Okay. This will make a lot more sense once you see the example. Screenshot this too, please. For example, if you want a 10% profit, and we came up with that number, right? It was $69.56 is what it costs to run our business. We showed that through the numbers earlier. Well, you're going to divide that by 90% because you want the 10% profit, right? And you're going to divide 90% into this. And that's going to give you.
Because you want the 10, okay.
Yeah, so, 10% profit. 69.56 cents divided by 90%, or 0.90, equals $77.29. I know some of you go, wait a minute, how's that possible? It just do the math. Just put in your calculator, put that in your calculator right now, and you'll see it does it. And the way you get that 10%, or in this case we show here 80%, is that's determined by how much profit you want.
If you want 30%, you're going to multiply it by 0.70.
Yeah, 0.70. You want 30%?
40%.
Yeah, you want to be really greedy.
0.60.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty obvious where you get the number from, I think.
Give me the monies.
Yes, exactly. Right. So there you go. That's going to give you your profit margin. So let's just say right now you found out that you make $69 an hour is what you've been charging, and you realize you were charging $65 an hour. That's what you were charging, because we calculate the actual cost of what you've been charging people, because that's not hard to figure out. Like, crap, okay, at first I got to get up to 69, and now if I want to get the profit, I'm going to go from 69 and charge $77 an hour, just so I get a 10% profit. Now, technically speaking, 15% is probably a little better, but do right now what you feel most comfortable. If this is all new to you, maybe start your first time with 10%. And then go from there and do something a little more bold and brave, because you're going to find out once you raise your prices, not as many people are going to leave you as you think. They all think they're going to run and go hiding, but they're not.
It's a way of working smarter. And a lot of people are afraid that everyone's going to leave. The kind of clients that you want are going to stay, and you're going to attract more of those. So it's worth it.
Exactly. Now, when you want to go back, now that you've calculated your costs, this is all we're going to say this is all pre-COVID, right? You've calculated your cost per hour, what you're charging per hour, and what you should charge per hour. But the problem is now you guys incurred some new costs, right? COVID's here. The new world is in a new world order. Everything's more expensive. You have definitely, like I said, loans, equipment, supplies. Maybe you have less hours to sell, right? We need to go back right now and figure this out. So now that you calculate your pricing and your cost based upon the past, now we want to go ahead and figure out what they are for the future. So you're going to need to increase your expenses a little bit. You may not actually lower the hours, like I said. So let's say you were selling 100 hours, but because you need more time between clients, maybe you only sell 90 hours a month now. So you need to go back and calculate that. Go back, readjust the numbers, add some expenses to your G&E. Say, okay, now we have this new loan I'm paying $100 a month for, and now I have to buy more supplies, hand sanitizer, and all this other stuff, and I have to buy shields for the team and masks and all that. Maybe you weren't using masks before, so you buy all that. Add all those new costs. Go back and exactly redo what I just told you, and now you're gonna know what your new cost is. You're gonna be like, oh wow, and it's not $69 an hour. Now it's actually $72 an hour. It didn't go up a lot, but it did go up some. So you do not want to go back into business. And if you're charging $69 an hour and your costs have gone up to $72 an hour, you can't go back and keep that. You have to go back with a higher price, or really what's going to happen is you're going to go out of business in 6 months or a year when you run out of savings, if you haven't already. And by the way, a lot of you just lost a lot of money anyway, so you don't want to continue to lose any more money. So raising your prices and using these formulas I gave you are really the key. And then once again, I just want to point out, you want to go to strategies, guys, especially if you have a team and you're going to sign up. The 2 links are in our bio. Go there. By the way, I don't get paid from them. I'm not an affiliate. In fact, I could probably get paid by them, but I've chosen not to.
We've had this conversation. If we choose to take money, in some ways we feel like it invalidates our credibility. We so believe in this. We want to encourage people to check it out, and for people to have the faith that there's nothing but our goodwill in this, that we're not trying to make a commission. So.
Yeah, we're not making money off of this. So, all right, so let's get to that. So yeah, go check them out. It's definitely worth looking into. They're great. So let's see that question
right there. So
should you discount now? That's the big question, right? And the big answer to that, in my humble opinion, is someone says.
Well, Elixir says, "Hey, babe, I'm offering my loyal clients a new set for the price of a new set."
There you go.
That is good.
Yes, exactly, because that's what it costs.
Mm-hmm.
It's what it costs. Now, if let me just say this about this before even raising prices. Actually, let me go back here. Should I discount now? As a general rule. I'm sorry. What?
It was a joke. It was a typo.
Oh, it was a typo.
It's like, I'm offering my low class a new set for the price of a fill.
Oh, it's a fill. Okay.
I thought it was like a little like.
Well, I'm going to challenge you on that, okay? Because I don't think you should. I think you should. You've worked hard. Your clients know you worked hard. Now, we're going to make a point about that. We'll get back to that in a second. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. As a general rule, discounts should not make your business unprofitable.
Yeah.
Just as a general rule. If you're doing discounts and you're losing money on those discounts, that's not a good idea. This is why you need to have a profit margin, because the profit margins allow you some flexibility in pricing. So let's say you have a 15% profit margin. You're like, you know what? To get people back, I'm going to discount a little bit right now because I can. I have a profit margin. I can do a little incentive to get people back. But what I'm going to guess, a lot of you, you're not probably charging enough, or you don't know what you're charging. And hopefully once you do all this math, you'll know what you're charging and you can make a better decision. Let's just say maybe you are. Maybe you're overcharged. You're like, wow, this is so cool. I just found out I'm charging like $8 an hour and my costs are only $50 an hour. Good for you. Good for you. In fact, just keep aiming higher then. Keep increasing that profit margin. But a lot of people, they find out they're not charging enough. They're making less than they thought.
If it's coming at a cost to you, remember it's not a charity. You make sacrifices. You leave your family every day to go to work so that you can make a living. And it's true. We make good friends out of our clients. But remember, it's not aren't necessarily our friends. I know that sounds harsh, but it's a business. And in order for you to have integrity with it, it's still you still have to charge for what you're worth. It's not negating a friendship thing. As women, we're so socialized that, as a friend, you should treat it differently. But it's a business. Remember that it's not charity.
Yeah, I mean, basically, guys, when you're doing discounting, discounts are really the cost of doing business. And it's like a promotion or discount. This should be part of your marketing costs. It should be figured in like, okay, we're going to spend this much money in a month to acquire clients. And generally, I understood. I've heard a lot of people say 3% is a good budget for marketing. It can be higher, but if it gets too high, then you don't have money for other things. So maybe 3% of your budget. So if you're making $10,000 a month, you're spending $300, on some little costs here and there. If you start spending $1,000 out of $10,000, guys, that's really tough. You're going to take it from somewhere else because you have no profits at that point. Anyhow, you might find out that you're more profitable, or maybe you find out you already been spending a lot of money. Maybe you've been buying a lot of the supplies, the masks and the gloves, and you bought all stuff. It's not even stockpiled. It's just part of your normal costs. Like you were already super sanitized, let's say. You have so many sheets. You changed everything every time. You reused anything. That you were very high end and you were very, very careful to show that same type of thing. And also maybe it's big breaks between clients. You already have 45 minutes between clients because you don't like being rushed. So you already had that in place. Well, then things probably won't change too much for you because your costs didn't really go up, your hours didn't change. Maybe you didn't take a loan. But if you took a loan and you had to spread out your hours and you had to buy more supplies, then you really do need to really think twice about discounting, because discounting is really going to hurt your bottom line. And let me give you a couple more thoughts about pricing, because really in the end, we'll come back to this for a second. Oh, wow. It just reverses screens. We'll leave that over my face.
Okay.
Witness location program.
Okay, keep going.
All right. So I get distracted, guys. Real quick, some thoughts about discounting, about pricing. First off, I want to let you know, I really severely do not believe your clients are expecting you to discount when you come back.
I don't think they are.
They just don't. I mean, it's not like they're going to go back to every business. Oh, by the way, you've been out of work for 8 weeks. Don't worry about it. I expect to be eating and going to stores and everything should be 50% off because you're broke and I want you to be broker. I just don't think that. Most of your clients understand that you need to make a living. You just lost a ton of money. I mean, we've been out of work for 6-7 weeks now. And in California, it looks like we may be out of work till June, July. So if that happens, then we're going to get 4 or 5 months out of the year with no money. That's crazy, right? So you have to realize your clients understand that and they want to support you. We've even had a couple of clients pay us anyway, just because they love Tuss and want to support her. And so you got to realize they are not expecting a discount. Put that on your mind. That's you. That's your fear. Oh, they're going to leave. They're going to leave. No, they are not.
Spa babe, she's got it right. Clients are already begging and offering to pay more, right?
Yes.
She also says now is the perfect time to readjust and get your price structure correct. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Way to go, girl.
You come back, and we're going to talk about this in a second, but you come back with higher prices, they're not going to be like, what? How dare you? You're trying to screw me. No, guys.
I know, right?
Next thing I want to say is get your mind out of their wallet. I've said this in a couple places, and it just is so true. Get your mind out of their wallet. You tend to think your clients are like you. You're like, oh, they're like me. They're broke. It's like, no, your clients aren't like you. And by the way, it's not your job to think for them. It's not your job to take responsibility for their expenses and to figure out what they should make. That's just not the way it goes. Your job is to basically do lashes and offer an amazing service that they want.
Amazing service.
So don't get in their wallet. Next, you're treating your clients like your friends, like Tuss said. All right. Yeah. When you start worrying about, can they afford it? Can they afford it? No, stop it. That's not your worry.
Okay. When I started, before I asked him on, every now and then he'd look through the finances, and he'd be like, "Why are you giving this person like a random like $10 discount, $5 discount?" I'm like, "Oh, she's so sweet. We get along. That she's like a friend. I would do that for my best friend." But he's like, "She's not your friend. She's your client. She comes to you every month, and you know, because she likes your service. Why are you discounting it?" And I'm like, "Huh. Well, because I'm nice." He's like, "Don't do that. She's still happy. You don't need to do that. She's not a friend. It's not a friend."
Exactly. A few more things. We got to keep moving. I realize we have 15 minutes to wrap this all up. All right. You also don't want to compete on price, guys. You don't want to compete. That's a race you do not want to win. We don't want to become the nail salon world. They compete on price. We want to compete on something better.
You don't want to win the cheapest lash award. I mean,
no, that's not an award that anyone wants to hold. Hey, City of Pasadena, cheapest lashes. Yay. No one wants that award. You want to compete on value. And what is value? It means the best work, the best service, the best experience. People really buy things because it feels like it's good value, not because it's the cheapest. I know you think that, oh, it's just the cheapest way they go with Southwest Airlines. No, actually, people buy Southwest Airlines because it's good value, because they love the service, they love the good attitudes, they love the whole experience is worth it. And so they go for that and they buy that ticket over going with American, where they say, "Get the hell out of my airplane," as they kick you out on the way out. You're like, why am I paying so much for this? It's not worth it. So you don't want to compete on price. You really want to compete on value. You want to be known as the best lashes. You want to be known having the best work and all that.
Spa Babe says be couture, not off the rack.
Yes, that's exactly it. Way more times, I think, I think more times than not for us, we buy things.
Sorry.
Tessa's messing up our thing. There we go.
Sorry, guys.
More times than not, I buy stuff just because I like it, not because I can afford it. There's many times I'm like, I should have bought that. I mean, Tessa does both. I mean, Tessa will be like online buying something. I'll get the notification. What were you buying? I just said this week we're not buying anything. So, I'm sorry, I just really needed it. It's like,
well, my spending, I like to go to the dollar store.
Well, I'm not talking about that spending, but that said, we both have done that. Sometimes you don't
you just
think.
Want it.
You just want it.
I want it.
You just go, it's so cool. It makes me feel pretty. It makes me feel good.
I don't care what you say. I want it.
So you just go on and get it. Now, by the way, some of you might be going, well, I was already slow and I'm not doing, this whole thing about discounting. I don't know. I don't have many clients. Not a good time to discount if you don't have clients, guys. Really not a good time to go discounting. If anything, maybe this is the time that you raise your price just because you are already cheap and you're already slow and there's no loss for you. But that all said, I just want to say this. If you're slow, there's two things you need to think about yourself. One is, are you not good? Are you not busy because maybe you're not that good yet? And you're not busy maybe because your messaging stinks in your marketing. Like you don't know how to market. You don't know how to reach people. Or maybe clients are coming in and never coming back. And if they're coming in and not coming back, that's reflecting on something on you. Now you'll say, well, I'm just too expensive. No. I can assure you, you're not too expensive. Your work isn't matching what you're charging yet.
There's a discrepancy. And I just want to shout out to Visage San Lucas from Guatemala. She's sending us good vibes, and they are not allowed to open yet. A little pause due to poor connection, and here we're back. So they're not allowed to open yet. So we'll take those good vibes, and we're going to send them back your way, babe.
Awesome. All right. So next, let's go back and let's look at this. When should you raise your prices? Let me get the slide. Where is it? I think I got it here. When should I raise my prices? Well, normally right now, I'd say when you're 89% productive. You remember when we talk about productivity, let's say right now you're at 90% productivity, you should definitely raise your prices.
That means you're super busy.
You're super busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're overworking yourself for too much. And if you are down this 40%, 50%, you shouldn't raise your prices. Normally, that's what I'm saying. We're going to have a caveat here because it's not right now we're on vein clients, right? We're just getting started. But normally in the future, when you use these formulas, just figure out your productivity rate, monitor that every month. And when after 3 or 4 months of the same productivity of 80, 90%, you can start thinking about raising your prices, whether you have staff or if it's by yourself. And if you basically are slower, then just keep working up towards that goal to get that busy. And that's when you decide to raise your prices, okay?
Sometimes people think at this point, let's say they're close to 80 to 90% productive, means that they're very busy, the phones are ringing off the hook, and they really can't find a spot to get people in. A lot of times, this is what I did. So I thought, oh, I'm so busy, I'm losing all these clients, I'm sending to other people. I need to hire somebody at this point. And that's exactly what I did. And that's what most people do. It worked okay for us, but in hindsight, my strengths are not necessarily administration and leadership in this kind of capacity. What Paul is talking about. I probably, in some ways, I could have been fine just instead of hiring a staff, raising my prices at that point to deal with, to get a little
demand,
bit higher
push people
quality
down.
of life. Yeah.
You may lose 5, 10, 50%. We never lost large amounts of people. We never lost 30% of our clients when we raised our prices. Never. I mean, I think the max was 10% max. And I think it was usually 5, 8, 6, 7%.
So the only reason why I say this is it may not, if you are that crazy busy, and right now no one is because of the COVID, but it may not be in your best interest necessarily to hire somebody else if that's not what's best for you in being a single practitioner.
Yeah, we'll go into when it's right to hire. Right now, I would say don't hire anyone. That is not the time to hire, especially if you've never been a leader before and no one's following you. Leadership skills are a whole other thing to develop, and I won't go into that now. You should just raise your prices. Every time you're fully booked, raise your prices. Don't do the thing where it's say not taking new clients. Never do that. Don't do that. Just say, you know what, guys, I'm busy again. I'm raising my prices. Even if it's twice in a year, that's okay. That probably just means you're so good and your demand's so high, you can continue to shed clients, and the new clients that come on won't know what you used to charge. They'll just think you're high-end, expensive person. I mean, would it be awesome at some point you're making $200 an hour? I mean, that'd be amazing. And you know what? People will pay that if they think you're worth it. It's just all about building the image, building the brand, building the messaging, and doing the best work. All right, so let's see, spa something babe.
Spa babe, that's our spa babe.
Yeah, I'm only lost 1 or 2 clients raising prices, and many times none. Yes, exactly. When all your percentages are in dollar signs or in line, you are 89%, 99%. What do you do as a percentage of price increase? I would say minimum 5%, which is really nothing. 10%.
Do more.
Do 10%. I think if let's say you're charging $100, charge 110. And then what'll happen after a while, you'll do it. I suggest doing it every year, raise your prices every year. And after a while, you'll find out you'll get to a ceiling, especially if you're the most expensive in your area. At some point, you'll be like, wow, I'm charging $150 an hour while everyone else is still charging $85, but I'm still booked. Congratulations. You've kind of hacked the system and figured out that you just keep going and going. And then you may slow it down at some point, or, hey, look what happens if you're up to 90% booked and you raise it, 10%, you're now 160 versus 135, whatever it was. And also you lose 15% of your clients. Well, guess what, guys? Even then, that increase, probably you're still making close to the same amount of money. You're working a little less hard. Not so bad.
Now, Katie Beauty LA says, if you do raise your prices, what do you tell clients?
Good point. We're going to get to that. Good point. So right now, did you see it? Once you raise your prices, now. Raise your prices now. There's no more wondering when to do it. This is the time to raise your prices. Now, how do you raise your prices? That's my last slide, and we're going to do that there. How do you raise your prices? Really simple. In the future, guys, what you do is this. You put a small sign, not for this time, but in the future. The market will tell you when it's too high. Exactly. The market will tell you too hard. Glitter set, got it right. At some point, you may tap out, okay? If you're the most expensive and everyone else is way below you, then, you may not continue infinitely go forever, but maybe you will. There's hairstylists in California or in Southern California that charge 10 times what other people get. So maybe you can get there. Just aim high and go for it. Anyhow, that said, in the future, not this time, but when you in the future want to raise your prices, the way you want to do it is really simple. Just put a sign near your bed or at your front desk if you have that, and to say on this date, June 1st, 2020, there will be a nominal price increase, and then have your new prices. And then when they are checking out, say, oh, by the way, when you come in next week or next month, or in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whenever I next see you. There's a
Price
nominal
charge
price
next
increase.
week.
My new price for a fill is this.
And you say, would you like to reschedule?
Yeah.
And is now a good time to reschedule?
Don't
wait for them to
pause and go,
are they going to be mad?
Are they going to be mad? Oh my gosh. Don't give them those
No.
signals. Don't make it seem like you're scared. Just act right now. Just act like, oh yeah, it's a nominal increase, Mom. I feel
Let's book your next
used to be 70,
appointment
but starting next month will be 85. Let's get in the schedule. Let's get you booked. And then, by the way, most clients will know, hey, that's normal in the real world.
Most people will be, actually, they'll probably say to you, it's about time.
Yeah, I'm glad to see you taking care of yourself.
Time.
But
Now,
some clients will say this, well, why? Here's what you say. And this, I'm stealing this straight from Daryl, my coach that I had for 5, 6 years, whatever it was. And this is a great way to put it. Just, you want to record this, write this down. Let me try it again. In order to provide the quality of work, and then we added this, and safety that you expect from me, moving forward, this is the price I need to charge. That's it. No debate.
In order to perform the services that you've come accustomed to and the safety, I need to charge these prices.
Yeah. It's just really
So let's book
simple.
your next appointment.
In order for me to provide the quality of work and the safety, that's a new one. Before it was just quality of work. Now we're adding safety. And they'll all understand it, guys. They're not going to, well, I don't understand. What do you mean safety? In order to provide the quality of work and the safety that you expect from me moving forward, this is the price I need to charge. Really, really simple. And then you move forward. And then, by the way, we maybe would get, we would see, 600 to 800 clients in our salon in a month. Maybe out of those people, when we raise our prices, I had 1, 2, 3 people freak out.
There will be. And what you'll say, they'll say, I've been with you for so long. Can't you reward those who have been with you for so long? And you're going to say, I'm so thankful that you've been with me for all these years.
Yeah.
I treat everybody equally here. I can't treat some with special favors.
Yeah. Everyone here's a VIP.
Everyone
here's a VIP. I don't have my favorites.
No, I understand the budget, and I understand that. I really appreciate that you've been with me for all these years. I'm going to be here, so if there's ever a special event or something like that, come on back. The other thing you might want to do, and this is what we did for people who just absolutely, were heartbroken. I said, I have a training program. Oops.
No, let's not go to that.
Okay.
We would refer people, or sometimes we training program, whatever.
We had a training program, and I'd said, if you want to have your lashes done by a student, then, you can sign up for that program. So,
exactly.
Anyway,
so let me get into this because we're really almost about to run out of time. So what to do now that COVID's here? Because it's a little bit different, right? I think really quickly, the best thing I think you would do is I would go online to your website, change your pricing, and then call your people. One by one, call them, say, I need to book you. Disable your online booking. You don't want people booking online. That's going to mess up your books. Call each of your people, even if they've already booked already, and call them, confirm, hi, I'm just calling to confirm your appointment on June 1st. Can't wait to see you. We due to the, for me, actually, let me go back. I would say, due to all the circumstances, as we all know, things have changed a little bit. We made a small nominal price increase. Phil, when you come back, instead of being $70, it's now going to be $80, and we're looking forward to seeing you.
So they asked to repeat it.
Yeah.
So in order to provide the service that you've come to, the quality that you've come to appreciate, and address additional safety concerns, this is the price that I need to charge.
Yeah, we were on the phone saying, look, next time you come in, our price is going to be a little higher, and we're doing this because, actually, I wouldn't even explain why. I would just say, look, hey, I just want to let you know when you come back in next time, your price is going to be $85 for a fill. That's right. And then they're mostly go, oh yeah, okay, I get it. And then some will say, well, why? I don't understand. Well, for me, in order to continue to provide the quality work that you like and have expected from us, as well as the safety, this is the price I have to charge.
Yeah.
And they're going to go, well, I don't think you need to. You say, I'm sorry, I can't argue with you. I'm not here to debate this with you.
This is simply the price I need to charge in order to give you the service and the security that you've been accustomed to.
Yeah.
Can't do it for less.
Yeah. And then that's it. And by the way, guys, we've raised our prices. One time we did 4 times.
4 times.
In 2 years. And we lost literally like 5 clients, I think, out of hundreds of clients. It wasn't a big deal. Yes, the few that did threw a fit. And don't let those few scare you or control you. Just say, you know what?
You don't have to deal
You
with
don't need that person anymore. Get rid of that person.
Them.
You basically, you really want to consider raising your prices I'd say every year. Just do it. Make it in the fall. Find a time that you plan on doing it. Just say, you know what? It's time to raise prices because that's what you are worth. and your business needs to have price increases for it to grow and for it to get better and for it to have the revenues, because all your other costs are going up every year. Your costs go up every year. Sometimes our rent went up every year. You have more. Your vendors are charging more. Everything's inflation, guys. And if you don't act like a business owner, you're going to make less and less every year, and that's going to get pretty discouraging, to be honest. And you're going to also your team. If you have a team, they're going to want more and more money. They're going to want raises. They're going to want to make more. And you're like, well, I can't because I'm making less every year because I'm afraid to charge more. You just have to do that. So now, hopefully this has been helpful.
Jasmine asked a quick question. Would you recommend the owner do this call or have the team help and call their own clients?
Well, if you know us, I don't believe salons own the clients, not the team. But it depends on how you set it up. Obviously, if people are independent operators, they're their clients and they should do that. And I see them doing that. I think it's best if you really want to keep clients, owners should be doing that right now. I think this is the way to do it. Yes, if you have a ton of clients, you have like 8, like when we had 13 staff, I probably would have made all the calls, but I would really appreciate my front desk helping me. And I probably would have maybe had some clients help me out, because it is a time consuming. Calling 800 people would have weeks of my life just tied up on the phone. So it is a logistical nightmare. So maybe in that case, if you have hundreds of people, you want to bring in someone else to help you front desk. And I would really, we will talk about another time, but I really think if you have a salon, you need to build a team, and you want to build a salon where your clients are loyal to your salon, not to your team.
The stylist, because when the stylist leaves, they can walk out and there goes your income.
Yeah, exactly. So anyhow, guys, we're less than a minute and a half away from running out on here. And we're just thankful for everyone that came.
Thanks, Casey.
Thank you for all the sharing, the posting. We had a lot of people out there coming back to me, DMing and commenting. And I loved all that stuff. I love interacting with you guys, supporting you. Please continue to do that. We're going to continue to try to bring you value through this podcast, through our Instagram Live, through their YouTube page. So please share this with your friends. Let other people know about it. And if there's anything we can do, anything you're wondering, by the way, if you're right now, we're in this new time, and we don't have a salon. Tess still does lash, but we no longer have a salon. So I can't say I'm 100% in tune with the pain points that everyone has. So if you guys have something you want to pass on our way, please do say, hey, Paul, can you talk about this? In fact, someone recently asked me to talk about community, what it would mean to have community in this industry, and what does it look like, and how can we build it? And so I'm going to do a podcast on that. We're going to just talk about community and building community. And all you guys right now writing comments, thank you.
Thanks, guys. You guys are what make it worthwhile doing it. Your appreciation. I appreciate that. Thank you. And to Jasmine, I just want to say congratulations on your hubby.
Yes.
With that new key and opening your
new place.
Barbershop. So best of luck with that. May God bless it profoundly.
Yeah. And hopefully get backward connection before this up.
Oh, you did.
Oh, no. And we did not. And we lost the video, and we lost it for good. It's not going to go online. It's gone. Wow. That sucks. Oh, all right, guys. We're just experiencing total depression right now, as we just lost the video that we just shot, and it's gone. It's all gone. As if it never happened. That's so painful. It's never happened. I've heard this happen to Cheryl. A lot of people do their podcast or do their Instagram lives, and we've never lost Instagram live until now.
That's all right.
That's all right. It was not meant to be. I guess it wasn't very good.
You win some, you lose some.
But the good news, those of you in our podcast audience, you guys are here and you can hear us out. We're going to say goodbye. Thanks for listening, and get back to us if you have any questions. And thanks so much for being part of this episode. We really enjoyed seeing you. All right, take care. Bye-bye. And then we'll end YouTube. Bye, guys. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you soon. And